From marriage desperation to joyful marriage. This is Sarah's journey of hope, faith, and self-worth. Enjoy.
At 31, I feel the weight of societal expectations pressing down on me. Where is my husband? When will I finally experience the joy of marriage and family? Every prayer seems to revolve around this singular, consuming desire.
Days turned into weeks, and weeks bled into months, each one a stark reminder of Sarah's single status. She filled her days with activities, trying to outrun the loneliness that gnawed at her. She volunteered at church, joined a book club, even took up pottery, but nothing could silence the yearning in her soul.
I've convinced myself that finding a husband is the key to unlocking true happiness. This belief has become an idol, overshadowing my relationship with God. I'm so fixated on my own timeline, my own desperate need, that I fail to see the bigger picture unfolding around me.
Then Mark entered the picture. He was charming, attentive, and seemed to share Sarah's desire for marriage and family.
Blinded by my longing and my ticking biological clock, I chose to overlook the subtle red flags that popped up early in our relationship.
Mark could be controlling, often questioning her choices and criticizing her decisions. His temper flared easily, leaving Sarah walking on eggshells, afraid to rock the boat.
I brushed these incidents aside, convincing myself that everyone has flaws and that I needed to be more understanding.
Sarah's friends noticed the change in her. They saw her bubbly personality dim, replaced by a quiet anxiety. They heard the sharp edge in Mark's voice when he spoke to her, saw the way his eyes seemed to possess and control. Concern rippled through their circle, but Sarah, blinded by her desperation, remained oblivious. One evening, Sarah's carefully constructed facade crumbled. She had just endured another evening of Mark's criticism and belittling, his words chipping away at her already fragile self-esteem. As soon as she got home, she locked herself in the bathroom and let the tears flow freely.
Sarah, it's me, Jessica. Please let me in.
Sarah hesitated for a moment before unlocking the door. Jessica gathered her in a warm embrace, letting Sarah weep against her shoulder. When Sarah finally composed herself, she poured out her heart to Jessica, sharing the pain and confusion she had been carrying for months. Section 4, Rediscovering Worth, God's Promises and Perfect Timing.
Sarah, you are worthy of love, but you are seeking it in the wrong places. You have allowed your desire for marriage to become an idol, and it's blinding you to the truth.
Jessica gently reminded Sarah of God's unwavering love and faithfulness. She shared verses about God's perfect timing, about his desire to give his children the desires of their hearts, but in his time and in his way. She reminded Sarah of her own value, her worth in God's eyes. Sarah listened intently, her heart beginning to stir with a flicker of hope. Jessica's words were like balm to her wounded soul, reminding her of the truth she had buried beneath her desperation. For the first time in months, Sarah felt a glimmer of her old self returning, the strong, independent woman who knew her worth. Section 5. A New Beginning, Stepping into Freedom and Faith. That night, Sarah knelt beside her bed, but this time her prayers were different. She confessed her idolatry, her desperation, her willingness to settle for less than God's best. She asked for forgiveness and for the strength to walk away from a relationship that was hurting her. With a newfound sense of purpose, Sarah ended her relationship with Mark. It wasn't easy. He pleaded, he promised to change, he tried to manipulate her with guilt. But Sarah stood firm, her resolve strengthened by her renewed faith and her commitment to honoring God with her life. Free from the weight of a toxic relationship, Sarah threw herself into her relationship with God. She attended church regularly, joined a Bible study, and dedicated herself to serving others. She found joy in her work, volunteering at a local women's shelter, her own experience fueling her passion to help other women trapped in unhealthy relationships. Section 6. A love story unfolding, finding joy, purpose, and a godly partner. One evening while attending a church social, Sarah met David. He was kind, compassionate, and shared her deep faith. They connected instantly, their conversations flowing effortlessly. David treated Sarah with respect and admiration, his actions reflecting the love and care she deserved. Sarah, no longer driven by desperation or societal pressures, allowed her relationship with David to blossom organically. She was confident in her identity in Christ, her self-worth no longer dependent on her relationship status. In God's perfect timing, David proposed. Their wedding day was filled with joy, a testament to God's faithfulness and his ability to write beautiful love stories. Sarah and David built a life together, their home filled with laughter, love, and faith. Sarah's journey taught her that true happiness is not found in desperately seeking marriage, but in surrendering to God's plan and finding joy in his purpose for her life.
If you have been blessed by Hope Mentions, subscribe, follow, like, and comment. Until